I've ridden and compared more than 100 road and gravel bike wheel sets in recent years. And in addition to rating and reviewing how each performs, I've learned which wheels are the best to choose for the riding I do in my budget. If you've clicked on this video, you probably want to know how to choose the best wheels for your riding and your budget without being able to ride all the ones that I have. Well, in this video, I'll give you 12 questions every road cycling enthusiast should answer to pick the best wheels for your unique situation. Hi, I'm Steve from In the Know Cycling, the ad-free, sponsor-free, and viewer-supported YouTube channel and website for cycling enthusiasts. Okay, let's roll. Before I get into the 12 questions, let me tell you why buying the best wheel set and buying the best wheel set for you are two different things. There are obvious reasons. The best wheel set may be out of your price range or may have tech or that you don't want or looks that you don't care for. For some enthusiasts, you may not ride at a level where the best wheel set will make you any better than one that doesn't perform as well or cost as much. But for others, buying and riding the best priced wheel set may hold them back from performing at the level that you're capable of. And a wheel set that performs the best if you ride on flat, straight, smooth roads, say at 40 kilometers an hour or 25 miles an hour, is probably not the best choice if you ride hilly, turny, rough roads at 30K or 18 miles an hour. I've heard from a lot of enthusiasts over the years who are trying to make these and more complex trade-offs to choose the best wheels for them. Answering these 12 questions will help you decide on the best wheel set for you. Alternatively, you can go into a bike shop where a salesperson will likely have fewer and different questions, some based on finding you a wheel set that they carry, which may or may not be the best one for you. A reviewer, well, they will have no idea who you are, and their review may not be clear about the type of rider the wheel set they're writing about is best for. And your buddy who raves about their wheels may not have enough experience with other wheels or with your priorities to suggest alternatives that might be best for you. When I first started looking for wheels, I found myself in these same situations, at bike shops, reading reviews, and asking friends. Once I began testing wheels, I realized all the things you need to consider in rating and reviewing wheels and helping readers and viewers choose the best ones. I put these questions into 4 buckets: your motivation, your gear, your riding profile, and your performance level. Question 1. Why do you want new wheels? The answers I hear most often are that I want to go faster, I want to improve my comfort, I want to perform better in specific situations, I want to replace a wheel set that's beyond fixing, and I want to move up from the subpar stock wheels that came with my bike. Then there's often the unspoken one, that I just want new wheels. Either I've earned it, or I've fallen in love with something I've seen, or I have wheel set FOMO. There's something better out there that I think I'm missing. But I hear the first one, I want to go faster, a lot, a whole lot. Let me be clear on this one. New wheels aren't the most effective and certainly not the most cost-efficient way to go faster. And depending upon how and what you ride now, they may not help you go faster at all. Let that sink in for a minute. Improving your training, your nutrition, your recovery, your position on the bike, and various cycling techniques are more effective ways to ride faster and usually a whole lot less expensive than buying new wheels. More compliant wheels can improve your ride comfort, but so can properly inflated tires or wider tires, both of which cost less than new wheels. The other reasons, better performance, upgrading or replacing a wheel set, or just wanting something new or better, well, they're all valid reasons, especially if your riding has advanced beyond the level your wheels can deliver. You know, that's often the case if you're still riding the stock wheels that came with your bike, or you're riding in a different environment or at a higher level than when you first got the wheels, or if new gear, like wheels, will re-energize your training or the pleasure you get from riding. Whatever it is, have a reason for buying new wheels. It will help you ground your search and direct your choice. Question 2. What do you dislike about your current wheels? Your answer to this question may be the same as why you want new wheels in the first place, but try to answer it as completely as you can. The more flaws or dislikes you can identify about the performance of your current wheels, say they're not very responsive, or they don't hold your speed well, or they're not tubeless, or perhaps it has a noisy free hub, or you just don't like the looks of it. Whatever it is, the better able you are to identify these flaws, the better able you'll be to choose a set that gives you more of what you want. Question 3. What are your riding goals? Your next set of wheels will be the ones you ride, hopefully for several years to come. What do you want to do with your riding over that time period? Do you want to, say, double your riding time, start racing crits, just maintain your fitness level, or pull more and get spit out the back less on your group rides, or perhaps do 5-day cycling vacations in the mountains each year? Perhaps you have a more detailed set of goals around events, distances, KOMs, podiums, watt per kg levels, or other clear performance targets. The more specific and measurable, the better and easier it is to find a wheel set that can help you accomplish your goals. Until you can clearly and confidently answer these 3 questions, why you want new wheels, what you dislike about your current wheels, and what your goals are, until you can answer those 3 questions, you really aren't going to be able to choose the best wheels for you, and you really shouldn't buy a new set of wheels. So these next 3 questions are all about your gear that you'll be using with your wheels. Question number 4. What bike or bikes will you be putting your new wheels on? The answer to this question will help you choose the type of wheels to buy and how much to spend on them. For example, you'll typically want deeper aero wheels to go on your aero bike, or mid-depth all-around wheels for your all-around road racing bike. But wheels and bikes have become more versatile, so while you wouldn't want 60mm deep wheels on your gravel bike, you might want one set of 30mm deep all-road wheels that you could use on both your gravel and endurance road bikes, and just swap out the tires depending upon what surface you're riding. Or if you have one of the newer all-road bikes that you can ride on both paved and dirt roads, you might want a 50mm deep all-road wheel set with, say, 23 or 25mm internal width. Likewise, if you have a dedicated climbing bike, you could go with a super light climbing wheel set, or one of the newer all-around wheel sets that weigh as little as the best climbing wheel sets did just a few years ago. Question 5. What is the most you're willing to budget for new wheels? Now, of course, the glib response to this question is as little as possible. But as I've detailed in my reviews that you can see in the links above and in the description box below, there are real differences between value price wheels that sell for $1,000 to $1,500, pounds or euros, and performance wheels that sell for $2,000 to $3,000, pounds and euros or more. Well beyond the specs, the brand name and looks of the wheels, there are real differences in how they ride, their versatility, their specificity, the aero drag and how well they hold your momentum, their stability in the side winds, their compliance or comfort, their responsiveness, and sometimes where you can get them serviced, their warranties, and the customer support. Most new bikes come with wheels that are at least a tier or 2 below the level of your bike's frame and other components, and hold you back from the performance you can get from the rest of your bike. For that reason, I suggest you plan to spend 30% plus or minus 10% of the retail price of your bike to get a wheel set that will help you realize your bike's potential and suit your performance needs and your priorities. Question 6. What priorities do you put on the brand, looks, or other unique features? I get it, performance and price are very important, but some of us also put less tangible considerations on our list of priorities. You may have put a high value on a wheel set that stands out or goes well with your bike, or perhaps you have loyalty to a brand based upon your experience with it in the past, or you've always wanted a certain brand of wheels. Maybe you want the latest tech features because you're an early adopter, or you don't want those features until they've gone mainstream. Neither I nor any reviewer can judge how important some of these things are in your decision making. But to the extent that they are, answering this question will help you rule out wheel sets regardless of their performance and price. Your answers to the next two questions will tell you how versatile or specific a wheel set you'll want for the kind of riding you do. Question 7. What mix of flats, rolling hills, and climbing terrain do you typically ride? And question 8. What mix of solo riding, group riding, endurance events, road races, time trials, or other riding do you focus on? The greater variety of rides and events you do, and the more varied the terrain you do them on, the more you'll want a versatile wheel set that performs well, if not the absolute best, in most of those riding conditions. That's typically going to be a mid-depth 50mm or so all-arounder. The best performing, more expensive all-arounders have gotten both lighter and more aero and will serve most enthusiasts in most of those situations. They'll also be laterally stiff, stable in side winds, comfortable on all surfaces, and responsive when accelerating or cornering. The more focused or targeted you're riding, the more you'll want a wheel set that is all about performing the best for that type of riding and terrain. So say, for example, you live in a region where it's mostly flat, and you do a lot of solo training and fast group rides, along with a few short or long events each year where you measure yourself against the clock on flat courses. Then get a deep aero wheel set, 60mm or deeper. Aero performance and crosswind stability will be more important than comfort and responsiveness for that kind of situation. If, on the other hand, you live where the terrain varies a lot, and you do moderately paced group rides and training for your annual cycling vacation into the high mountains, a shallower, stiff, more comfortable, light, and climbing-focused wheel set would be a better choice for you. Your answers to these last 4 questions will tell you whether your money will be better spent on a performance wheel set in the $2,000 to $3,000 pound and euro range, or you're likely to get as much as you'll need and as much as you'll notice from one that sells for $1,000 to $1,500 pounds and euros. Question 9. What are your watts per kg and FTP? If you ride in the 3.25 watts per kg or 250 FTP range or above, or you're training to get there, you're at a level where you'll benefit from all that a performance wheel set will give you. And from the many, many wheel sets that my fellow testers and I have ridden, the better performance wheel sets will, on average, be more versatile, more aero, more stable in side winds, more responsive, and more comfortable than a value-priced wheel set. All those advantages will make you a faster cyclist and will give you more enjoyment on the road at the performance level you've reached, that you've earned, or that you're reaching for. If you don't know your watts per kg or FTP, or you don't care what they are, or you don't know what those terms mean, you probably aren't riding at the level where you need more than a value-priced wheel set. Question 10. What speed do you average on solo 30 to 40 mile or 50 to 60 kilometer rides? If you're averaging at least 18 miles an hour or 30 kilometers an hour on a varied terrain course, or at least 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers per hour on a flat one, you're riding at a speed where you'll notice the difference between the better performance and value-priced wheels. There are exceptions, of course. Some higher-priced wheels don't perform as well as the best value-priced ones, and some value-priced ones have selected performance characteristics that are on par with some of the better higher-priced ones. But overall, looking at the performance criteria and other attributes that matter most, and I've been referring to earlier in this video, over and over again, you'll get what you pay for, and as a faster rider, you'll get more out of a higher-priced performance wheel set than a value-priced one. That's just the reality. Question 11. Do you prioritize speed or comfort, or do you value both of them equally? In our testing, and in some wind tunnel tests that we've all seen, some value-priced wheels will hold their momentum at aero speeds in the 40k to 25 mile per hour range, as well as performance wheels. But they typically won't be as responsive in getting up to those speeds, or sprint for the line as well, or be as stable in the side winds. The same goes for comfort. With the same tires at equivalent pressures, some value-priced wheels are as comfortable as the average, more expensive wheels, but aren't as comfortable as the best ones. Most value-priced wheels have strengths and weaknesses. Few have strengths across all the performance criteria that matter most to enthusiasts, including speed and comfort. Some of us don't ride at a level that would benefit from all the strengths that the best performing, higher priced wheels provide. But if you want or will benefit from speed and comfort both, and from stability, from responsiveness, and either a greater degree of versatility or specificity, you'll want a performance level wheel set. Question 12. Do you have any specific performance or wheel set requirements? Ask yourself, is there anything about you, your riding environment, that leads to requirements or musts about your next wheel set? For example, if you are a heavier rider, you'll want to make sure your wheel set rates high for stiffness, regardless of its other attributes. If you regularly ride on poorly paved and dirt roads, you'll want a wheel set that scores well for compliance. Wide tires and low inflation pressures will only take you so far. Do you ride along a seacoast or across open areas where the wind blows all the time? Well, then choose one of the more stable all-around or all-road wheel sets, or a low-profile one. Identify those things that will allow you to look for or filter out specific wheels. It will save you time choosing the best wheel set for you. Okay, now that you've answered these 12 questions, you can go ahead and use those answers to research and compare your options more thoroughly and choose the best wheel set for your unique situation more quickly and confidently. For example, say your answers to the questions about your performance level, your riding profile, your gear, and your budget lead you to a value-priced wheel set. While you can compare a dozen that we've reviewed and rated in the $1,000 to $1,500 pound and euro price range for their versatility, their aero performance, their stability, their stiffness, their compliance, and responsiveness. You can also compare their prices, specs, and service policies all in one place. And you can read the reviews that tell you more about their performance and their riding experience. You can see what they look like, and you can link to the stores that carry them. If your answers lead you to higher performance wheels, you can make the same kind of comparisons for all-around wheels, aero wheels, climbing wheels, all-road wheels, and gravel wheels. If you want to see my wheel set recommendations in each of those categories all in one review, you can start here and then click through to the category or wheel set reviews that I just showed you. The links to all these reviews are in the description box. And while I do give you specs, I hope you've noticed that my questions are focused on performance, not specs. That's because how a wheel set rides or performs is ultimately what matters most to how fast, how confident, how comfortable you'll be on the wheels that you choose, and how much fun you'll have riding them. I'd love to read your answers to these questions and how you think they'll lead you to a better wheel set, or perhaps have already done so. Let me know in the comments section below. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and check out some of the other videos I've done about wheels that you can see alongside me. Thanks for watching. I look forward to you joining me in the next video.